Yes, good evening to everyone. It's on a Sunday evening. We've all gathered here. Hello there, Arya.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, Sushi ma'am. uh, yes, kindly unmute your.
Hello, Denzi. Hello, Arya.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
That's nice. So here we are at PhD Rendezvous series. Something interesting we just started on and we'll be launching today. And in our first session today, we have Dr. AARYA Bharadwaj with us. Arya just walked out with a gold medal today morning at the RGH's convocation ceremony. So it's again my immense pleasure to invite Dr. Arya to share her experiences of community learnings and what it actually takes to ace and to get a gold medal in the subject of public health dentistry. So quickly, let me just invite everybody else who's joining in here. Also want to mention that we're going YouTube live today for the first time. So we do have people attending that as well. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And we have a lot of postgraduates, undergraduates, everybody who would be joining us from our PhD 101 student learning group from across the country. We're also anticipating a lot of faculty members who will be here and people who've known Arya through her years of learning at VSDC to share and to add on to what really it takes to create and cover niche for yourself in this arena, especially when what is lacking when we see around is the lack of inspiration or other motivation for students to be continuously not deterring from their goals and ambitions and to make a mark for themselves in this rapidly changing world where we're becoming more technical and less humane. So I think what really grounds us to the specialty of public health dentistry is a strong connection of empathy and human connection to patient care. And someone like Arya, who I've known through her post-graduation days, I'm so happy and I'm so proud that she's here. And of course, Sushi ma'am also seconds the opinion as well, because to see someone grow through the various rigors of post-graduation, of course, to develop an inclination for the specialty to begin with, and actually not to give up on it throughout the entire process. So we've all gathered here on the Sunday evening to hear from Arya. So welcome, Arya. Welcome to the PhD 101 portal here.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for the introduction.
Yeah, talking about introductions, for all our participants here, I think the little lesser known facts of Arya will be revealed today, more in terms of how she was confused at various parts of her process and how she chose the path less traveled, right from opting out to stay back and to pursue her post-graduation and not, seeing the obvious choices which generally students make, and to take something of the pyramid which is very crucial and very important, which connects dentistry to the whole art and science and the practice of it. So Arya will be sharing her experiences today. So for people attending this, let me just give you a flow of today's rendezvous series. Now, PhD rendezvous is an opportunity to engage and to interact with our students who've made a mark for themselves. And like they say, each one has their own journey of how they've been through all this and what really makes them what they are, and where they have discovered their inspiration and motivation, and how did they prepare for the examinations on certain important aspects as well. Arya would be sharing throughout the postgraduate exercises and how do you prepare for them in detail. And above all, the community consciousness which held her firmly, which is going to take her to the real world to actually bring about a difference to people's lives. So I think enough said, Arya. I think should we start this?
Sure.
All
Sure.
right. So I think since I have Sushi ma'am here as well, so a few opening remarks, Sushi ma'am. Yes.
No, let Arya start speaking. Let her feel free and comfortable. Maybe at the end, I will speak a little. Let
Surely,
us
ma'am, sure.
our platform.
Okay, Arya, are you ready
Sure.
for your grand viva of sorts?
Yes. 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 And this time, I think I'm much more. I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, great. So that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
So to begin off the whole journey, Arya, okay, I'll just be giving you a couple of instances, couple of incidents and events which you'd like to share, okay, and whatever little we've discovered over the years. Now, when was the first time, Arya, that you actually developed an inclination towards community dentistry or public health dentistry, and how did it all start?
So rather than community dentistry per se, my grandfather, after retirement, used to work with Vasanaike Hospital as a public relations officer. So he was involved in a lot of camps that they conducted, and and he used to always say, he's like, it's okay when you have. It doesn't matter how much you have. If you're in a position to give, it means you're already in a good position. And he's like, never hesitate, from being. You can give, and you're not going to lose anything in life. For all you know, it's just going to come back, and it's always nice to help people in need. So he was somebody who used to, he used to like manage even if he didn't have, but then really help someone in need. So that nature of his is something that we have seen during the entire period that we were growing up. And then when I came into dentistry, medicine is a noble profession. Then when I came into dentistry, and third year again, coming back to this, the story of how it all began. Thank you, Sushi ma'am. So it was the first third BDS class of community dentistry, and everybody, it was like a general idea set. It was like a set truth that public health dentistry is boring, and then you've got to somehow just pass, and then it's such a waste of time. It's useless, and whatever adjectives you want to add to. And like I said, so I remembered my history teacher once telling me way back in school, give the subject a fair chance. Why do you want to make decisions for it? So when Sushi ma'am came in with man in medicine, I was like, because everyone's saying the subject is boring and bad, I'm going to give it a chance. I mean, I did that to history and I ended up loving history. So, and then ma'am took the class on man and medicine, and it was completely different. I don't know if ma'am remembers. She asked us to find out about what is Park's textbook, Park. And the next class, none of us had bothered doing it. And ma'am made all of us stand. And ma'am scolded us saying, "This is not how you need to be. Be a little more responsible in life." And it felt different. It's like, okay, someone's like really interested in wanting you to know it, and is putting in so much of an effort. So it's not only me, most of the people in my batch actually went back because thanks to ma'am, and we actually found out that there's a textbook called, Park's textbook, preventive and social medicine and things like that. And eventually, so I was like, okay, the subject is nice. Man in medicine is nice because it has history aspects in it. You study the Greek medicine and then Roman and Ayurveda and everything. And it just got better. So every staff member from BHDC who came after that, just I don't know, the subject was amazing, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, every aspect. And more than anything, it wasn't boring, and even at points where you really didn't understand and you asked, they were always willing to explain it out to you and give you the whole picture, which actually matters a lot in understanding. And I think that along with clinics, oh, we had a lovely time. And I'm speaking for my entire batch, a BDS batch. I'm sure all of us enjoyed public health postings. And yeah, that's where it began, and that's all.
So that's a pretty interesting start. Like, of course, like you said, you picked on something very vital which your grandfather shared, and you are here because of a certain privilege, right?
Yes.
So that clearly
Yes.
echoed in your mind and heart and soul, and resonated you towards sharing of that. Okay, so if you put it that way, I think it's a world of haves working towards the world of have-nots.
Yes.
So we're really glad that it started much early during your undergraduation, and most of our students here would be having similar experiences. When something which they could relate to has actually made them work upon it. And coming to the second point, I think every specialty, every subject deserves an unbiased chance to begin with. So a lot of students are overburdened with what the seniors and all of them share about public health dentistry being dry and volatile and not really interesting to begin with. So I think that was pretty much dispelled. Fortunately, because yes, like you mentioned, ma'am did put in that spark right in the beginning and opened up the whole box of opportunity. So that really is what it's all about, Arya. Yes, please.
Yeah. One more thing I'd like to add. It's not only, I mean, the idea that we usually get from seniors, I'm sure they have their own reasons for it, is not only that it is volatile and boring, the fact that it also is pretty useless. So that is, they're like, why do you want to do it? It's there, you give, you write, and then you finish and move on. So people really don't understand the fact of the matter that it is a separate specialty should in itself mean that it's important somewhere in its own way. And that is not, nobody even considers that. Rather, very few people consider that. So it's like it's a waste of time. I'll use that time to finish other postings and record work and a lot of things. So that's another mindset that people generally have.
True. Yes, Arya, that's absolutely true. I think you're dealing with a certain mindset against which you have to definitely swim against. So moving on from your beginnings and how you found out or rather discovered the fascinating world of dental public health. You did move on and did experience a lot of community learnings in your internship days. So
Yes.
how was internship all like? Like, of course, camps are fun, but there's so much more beyond all that fun which lies there, right? So if you could
Yes.
describe some of them.
Yeah. So public health posting was our first posting when we started internship. And I am really, really thankful that series had not started yet. So we had our Sundays to ourselves, and every Sunday, the entire month, we had camps. So along with that, we also had benefit postings. So the whole, it was a completely different experience because we were there. So from the beginning to the end, from when the patient walks in to whatever is required to how you're going to complete. So it's like it was like a sense of autonomy. So in college, they just come to your department. I mean, depending on whatever is required. But then there you have to manage everything, along with talking to the patient and then uh, trying to squeeze in some oral health education and so that they at least follow it or it's of some use to them. That was something that we used to look forward to, and along with that, we really got a chance to accompany postgraduate students when they were going for data collection. So we would generally go along with them, and we used to always. So that's the thing. We used to ask them, "Why are you doing this? What is the point of doing this? And what are we actually going to get out of doing this?" And it was a really nice experience overall. And I think that's the department that my batchmates, like my posting batchmates, three of us had full attendance in. We did not apply CL as well. We were just three people, and there was no network. So so there was less distractions. No, it actually helped. So
True,
less
true.
distractions coupled with, so we were always trying to find out what they're doing. How do we keep ourselves busy? Like I said, the series hadn't started yet. So no one was into that mood of, oh, I have to study for NEET. So we were pretty free, and we really got a chance to, be like look at the subject in different from different viewpoints. And I think that helped. Along with that, the entire internship we did a street play on World No Tobacco Day. We went around few places around college. So things like that, I think, actually added it up, and it was a very nice experience. It was a different one, basically. Yeah.
Hmm. Now, it often happens that most of the students are really confused as to why do we have a 2.5 3 month posting, right? In public health dentistry, especially because it's thought upon on most of them, and they're absolutely clueless. Uh, it actually is designed to suit certain curriculum requirements, but beyond curriculum and beyond courses, it's more about translating your information, knowledge into the real world. When you're indulging in various practicing oral health activities and promotional things and various activities, like performing street plays and skits and building up on a lot of IC material. So there is a lot which requires for you to connect the dots, and we're glad that you did sustain that interest in internship throughout as well. And let's just think something like Fantastic Sundays. You started having time off for yourself to discover through the camps and learning
Yes.
experiences.
Yes.
Now, specifically, like in terms of the various outreach programs, what was the overarching thing, or rather, the most important quality you discovered about yourself when you're interacting with patients on camps, on field activities? So, what did you discover about yourself?
That I'll tell you, the basic thing is like I said, so we are so involved in ourselves that we really don't bother to see how lucky we are or how privileged we are. And I think that was something which was really evident because all the camps we generally do are in more or less rural areas. So people who cannot afford oral healthcare and whom, in whom we actually need to drive in these preventive measures for whom it would actually make a lot of difference. And through that and through the 3 years of post graduation, one thing I've learned is that behavior change is really, really difficult. It's so easy to talk, but actually getting them to, understand and change, we don't do it ourselves. So like, trying to get that is extremely important and is extremely difficult. So we used to feel frustrated at times. We think, why are they not listening to us? Why are they not doing it? But the point is, you wouldn't do it either. So to actually do bring it about in such a way that it makes an impact does take in a lot of commitment and effort and being patient and understanding and explaining. So these are small things that we learned throughout, and people are satisfied with whatever they have. That's another thing that we notice. People are just happy. We are always in the search of, oh, I want this, I want that, I want the next thing. But then I don't know, whenever we used to go to camps, people were like happy with whatever they had. Oh, you want to come? No, you do. I mean, that attitude is something we have to change. But even then, they just seem so content, and it makes you want to reflect upon the way you've been all these times. Yeah.
So actually, being too content, they say. I mean, you got to be happy about what you do, but you never got to be satisfied with what you do. Right?
Yeah, that
So,
is
I mean,
with
that is
what
in
you
fact
have, sir. With what you have. I
exactly.
mean, not wanting more.
Hmm. True, true. So I think all these, when you're self-contained and when you're, cast yourself into a certain mold, that in fact works against driving you towards progress. Like, so mankind has always been driven by the zeal to break the mold and to do more, and for that you need to realize unto that. So Arya, I'd like to know, or everybody here, right? I'm asking on behalf of everyone. How did you not fall into quote unquote the trap of going for clinical dentistry or the traditional specialities at the end of internship? When you actually made the biggest decision of your life.
There are two things. There are two reasons, two huge reasons. First is I'm not artistic. And irrespective of what anybody says, dentistry needs you to be artistic to a certain extent. And I felt, that I felt I was not good at it, and I knew that it was not something I enjoyed. So why would I push myself to do something I don't enjoy for the rest of my life? That was the first thing. The second thing takes me back to oral health promotion, the chapter of oral health promotion that was taken by, I think, Dr. Pallavi. Uh, and so that's why we studied the entire downstream, upstream, downstream approach. And we're like, when you can actually make a bigger change here and impact much more lives and, bring about what I would call the necessary change, why would you limit yourself to treating few people when you can, work towards eliminating the entire thing? So, and I felt that is where I would actually, be able to do something. You know, I've gotten into this. Uh, I've been able to, finish my undergraduation in dentistry, and I know I'm good at that, and I know that's going to make a difference. So why not? That's something I felt I could work. I could work well. So yeah.
Yeah. So then again, I know it's the willingness, right? So you did find your calling, and then, like you said, you described dentistry is essentially an art. It's just that even ability to emote, to resonate, to understand patient needs is also an art, I believe, because that again
Yes.
is maybe, I mean, you're just like overlooking that, but you are again truly gifted with a certain art to see what most of them don't really see and understand and rather perceive, because your response comes much later, once you're able to understand the pain and the trauma of someone not having access to dental care, or someone
Yes.
whose life has actually been changed because of a certain treatment and outcome and quality of life. So I think all of these are some of the intangible outcomes what we see in public health dentistry when we're dealing with the community at a large.
Yes.
So another point on what you mentioned is very interesting, is most of our students need to know what they don't want to do rather than what they want to do, because
Yes.
a confused lot is very dangerous for your family as well as for everybody at large, because
True.
people do, if you look at the evolution of dentistry, like they say, right, certain specialties like conservative and prosthetics, students do should take it up if they really like the subject, if they like the art and the science of it. They need to get that clarity and the thought process, and then you would be able to do justice to the profession and to the specialty, and to yourself as well. So that's really important to know, and most of them really just take it up for the heck of it. In fact, I've spoken to many of the top rankers, they don't have a reason beyond why they want a certain specialty, and that is a very very important decision of which
Yes.
is going to label you for life as a specialist in that. So the ability to decide is again has to be a very well informed decision. So to begin
Yes.
with, know all the specialties, and then if this relates to you, like it did in
Yes.
your case and in many of us here, you take it forth and then eventually do it. All right.
Yes, sir. So I was
So,
actually sorry, but when I decided and I said, okay, so I'm just going to put colleges and public health dentistry. That was the only option I put. I was actually told by people that they say, oh, you like public health dentistry, but okay, is it going to feed you? And I said, I'm sure I'm going to find a way and ensure that public health feeds me. If you're talking just about feeding, rather than choosing any clinical subject and then saying, oh my God, I have to do this all over again. So you're going to get used to it eventually. There's no doubt in that. But then just because you get used to it does not mean that you may start enjoying it. So I rather earn enough to feed myself and enjoy what I do rather than do something just for the heck of it. And I think if people are not able to decide directly, I think by elimination, that really works. Well, it's worked for me. I've been very clear on what I don't want, which brings me down to the options I have. And I think that's made my decisions easier.
okay. So, how much did you, or rather, were you familiar with the postgraduate aspects of learning in public health industry? Because someone like you who's been curious towards it, of course, you had seen PGs in your department and in your college and in your own ecosystem, right? In your
Yeah.
learning groups, did you make like an effort towards finding out what I shall be doing over the next 3 years, or you had enough faith to just jump into the well and learn the art of it?
Yeah. So I just knew that we do one main dissertation, we do one LD, we do two short studies, we conduct camps, and we give presentation, seminar, and take theory classes. That's all I knew. And I don't know. I was like, I don't mind anything else there is to this. I'm willing to learn. This is okay as long as I'm getting to learn the subject, and I'm getting. I always felt I'll find my way around. So I knew that much, and I'd got a lot of warnings. A lot of people, postgraduate students in public health, not from my college, but from other colleges, had actually told me saying, "Are you sure you want this? There's nothing to this. You cannot go anywhere from there." And I was like, you know what? I think I'm done talking. Like, no offense meant, but then I was like, no,
That's okay.
this
That's
is
okay. I mean,
enough.
Absolutely honest answer. And what did you tell to those guys who said you could go on camps anyways? Why do you have to do PG in public health dentistry? I mean, you could do everything, what essentially is done even without a PG in public health dentistry.
No, so at that point of time when people pointed it out to me, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. And now I'm like, okay, let's have this conversation now. And now I can tell you, or rather, I hope my work should be able to tell you what else you can do. If not, because I'll tell you, Dancy, so sometimes I feel there's no point in trying to convince somebody who's um, pretty, stuck to their ideas. I feel it would just be a moot point. And and yeah, let your work speak for yourself.
Yeah,
That's all I believe.
that's good. That's really very honest and a very important way of addressing the issue. In fact, the specialty which spreads so much of awareness around lacks awareness about itself. I think most of the teachers here would
Yes.
most of the other specialties don't know, man. Like, what are we guys up to in 3 years? Of course, like the PG curriculum aspects, which are more or less the same for all specialties, which is being laid down by the regulatory bodies. But what is it that we specialize in? Okay, so what, according to you, should be done to create awareness about our specialty, about the various aspects, which is probably going to give a more precise idea for the ones who are on the verge of taking up post-graduation or the like?
So more than that point of time, I feel the focus should be on the curriculum that we have way from third year. So like the way each of these subjects are, built gradually from third year, I feel, focusing or rather giving equal importance to our subject as well and modifying the method of teaching. And, whatever you're teaching it in a little more, in a much more, so that students understand. I think that would go a long way in, letting, in them keeping public health as an option at par with other subjects, because that's the thing, you really cannot change somebody's mind. And generally people at who are taking up seats after need generally ask saying, I got a bad rank, I want to do an MDS, so why not public health? So I'll be like, if that's your idea, please don't take, because you're not going to do anything after 3 years. And so more than that, I feel we have to go way back to when you introduce the subject, focusing on why do we actually need this? Why is this an entire specialty on its own? And why is it so important? Because I feel it forms the basis of everything. We start way back from when the disease starts. So yeah, they need us at the base.
All right. Yes. So I think that's nicely put there. Like, how do we, put forth the speciality in the right sense and vein
Yes.
for the students to understand what really goes and to appreciate the foundational basis. Something like prevention, which forms the cornerstone of our specialty, or planning and the various aspects of policy making, and all of these things, right? So I mean, I really think that if the student doesn't know, I mean, it's entirely the fault of the teacher. Like, we've not put it forward in a certain way which he or she doesn't understand. But then partly, yes, we have to fight the image which has been created by default. I mean, you and me, we belong not too many years apart, but we've passed that phase, and there was a stage where people used to take up public health dentistry for jobs, right? Simply because I mean, that was the buzzword, and most of our seniors, I mean, we've heard it when we were in undergraduation and all of that. So it's like you take up PCD as erstwhile it was known as, you'd get a ready job. So there has been certain directions, unfortunately, which has then again exhausted, right, after a certain point in time. So we really don't have the selling point for our specialty. All right. So now coming on to certain aspects of your post graduation life, right? So how was your experience on the first day of your PG in the department, and how, since it is your alma mater, it is your parent institution, so you like to tell us more about that?
Yeah, so I walk into the department and I don't know where to sit. And I was the only PG in our batch. And so I'm early and no one's coming. And in at VS, we have those chairs, cubicle sorts, where everyone sits at their individual desk and chair. So it's already taken. There are other PGs there, and I don't know where to keep my bag. So I go directly to the intern's table and I leave my bag. So the first PG who walks in, a senior, he's like, "Wait, why are you back here? Aren't you supposed to come and sit there? Or do you want to be an intern for the rest of your life?" And I'm like, "I really don't know where I need to sit." And he was like, "You know what? Just pull a chair and leave your bag, and then we'll decide." So that day was mixed emotions. The next close to 2 months was pretty difficult because more than anything, I missed my batchmates. It's like every nook and corner you turn, you've got memories everywhere. You're like hoping to see a familiar face, but then none of them are there, and you're just like, I used to go there, and then we used to do this and that. So it took me a little time because I feel I had to unlearn to get back into the whole postgraduate field. I had to like forget and stop being an intern and forget that I was a UG here to get back into that. So it was a little difficult, but I think I just found my way around.
Okay, I mean this happens, of course. Where you do your UG, you continue as a
Yes,
postgraduate. There are certain perks to it, but there's
yes,
also the certain
yes,
baggage which comes along. But nevertheless, I
yes.
mean, the journey is a fresh journey, is all new. So you
Yeah.
entered the department, and then now. What lies ahead is the 3 years of rigors of post graduation and all of that. So we shall be talking about all of that. Meanwhile, I'll just take a moment and pause here. I think we have Dr. Akash here, who is going to be, giving us a little bit of musical twist to this evening. So, yes, Akash, are you there? There you are. Okay, I can see you. Great. Yeah, you
Hi,
can.
sir.
Hello, hello, hi, Akash.
Hi, hi.
Yes,
How are you?
everybody. This is Akash, Dr. Akash Rao. He's a former alumni of BDCH, one of my really dear students who has an amazing voice. He's done has got all his fans following here, and right now he's practicing in his hometown. So yes, Akash, I think can we just have a look at your
Yeah.
copy? All right. Let me just.
So, hi everyone, and yeah, it was a like really good topic to discuss about. I mean, like listen to. It was really good to listen to ma'am as well. I still have to see, like, I still have to listen to all everything about like how it goes because I have no idea what I'm gonna do as well. Uh, and like I have confusion in what I have to do, like how I have to go in my life as well because I'm just going in the flow now as of now. However, the life is taking, and for now, like I'm have been working since 6 months in COVID duty, so under the government. So I had no idea that I would end up here, but like I somehow like came here, and yeah, it's going well. Actually, it's a really good
For all
experience
the
as well.
participants, let me just tell you that Akash is on duty right now, and he's doing this at his coffee break. It's a Sunday. We're all comfortably at home, but Akash is in the hospital. The COVID vaccination schedule's happening. So thank you so much, Akash, for joining in and taking out time. Yes, yes,
Yeah, so
please.
it's like a really good opportunity. Like every time, like whenever I forget towards like whenever I forget about the music, like you have been like giving me some opportunity and making me remember about it, that I shouldn't like just let it go like that because of the workload, everything. Like it's been since 6 months I haven't been practicing much as well. So like at least I got an opportunity to practice for few time, at least for some time at least. So yeah, I'll try my best. And today I'm gonna do mashup now. So this is a mashup of few songs which I like practice for some time. So I'll try my best. So let's see like how it goes on. Hmm. ओहो ना जिया जिंदगी एक पल भी तुझको देखे बिना सुन जरा मैं तो कई रम में रम चुका हूँ बस तेरा, बन चुका हूँ मेरा, मुझ में कुछ भी नहीं, सब तेरा। मैं तो कई रम में रम चुका हूँ बस तेरा, बन चुका हूँ मेरा, मुझ में कुछ भी नहीं, सब तेरा, सब तेरा। ओढ़ के रानी प्रीत की चादर, आया तेरे शहर में राजा तेरा। ओ हो दुनिया जमाना झूठा फसाना, जीने मरने का वादा साचा मेरा, पी लूं तेरे नीले नीले नैनों की शबनम, पी लूं तेरे गीले गीले होठों की सरगम, पी लूं है पीने का मौसम। ओ पहली नजर में कैसा जादू कर दिया, तेरा बन बैठा है मेरा जिया। ओ जाने क्या होगा क्या पता, इस पल को मिलके आज ही ले जरा। मैं हूँ यहाँ तू है यहाँ, मेरी बाहों में आ भूल जा। ओ जाने जा दोनों जहां, मेरी बाहों में आ भूल जा। ओ जाने जा दोनों जहां, मेरी बाहों में आ भूल जा। अच्छा चलता हूँ दुआओं में याद रखना, मेरे जिक्र का जुबा पे स्वाद रखना, दिल के संदूकों में मेरे अच्छे काम रखना, चिट्ठी तारों में भी मेरा तू सलाम रखना। अंधेरा तेरा मैंने ले लिया मेरा, उजला सितारा तेरे नाम किया, चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ बेलिया। ओ पिया चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे यहाँ बेलिया। ओ पिया है सान तेरा होगा मुझ पर, दिल चाहता है तो कहने दो मुझे, तुमसे मोहब्बत हो गई है मुझे, पलकों की छाँव में रहने दो, एहसान तेरा होगा मुझ पर। आजकल तेरे मेरे प्यार के चर्चे हर ज़बान पर, सबको मालूम है और सबको खबर हो गई। आजकल तेरे मेरे प्यार के चर्चे हर ज़बान पर, सबको मालूम है और सबको खबर हो गई। सबको मालूम है और सबको खबर हो गई। सबको मालूम है और सबको खबर हो गई। Well, thank you everyone for listening to me. Thanks a lot, Denzi sir.
Uh, that was really beautiful, Akash, and I think lovely break. I mean, it actually took us back into all that. Very well composed. All of you participants, you can show some love for Akash in our chat box there. If you really liked his performance, thank you so much, Akash, for doing
Thank you,
this.
sir. Thank you.
Hmm?
Thanks a
on,
lot.
on on a Sunday evening, that too in the middle of your duties, you did take out time, and you are doing great. And of course, I'll keep bothering you just to remember that there is a singer
Yeah.
in you, and don't ever let that go away. All right.
Thanks, sir. Thanks a lot for opportunity. Actually, like at least like I could make some time for it and do like little bit of practice as well, because like I like almost like I forgot to about the singing as well. So thanks a lot for giving me an opportunity, and like for always like appreciating everything, like for appreciating and for helping me as well with so many things. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot for the for everything.
Thank you so much, Akash. So I
No.
think yes. So we'll have Akash here again, attending the session for us, and even he is someone who is at the position of shaping his career and taking this forward. So yes, Arya, I think we can have you back here. All right. Okay.
Yes.
So yes, Arya, do you sing as well, by the way?
No, absolutely not. No.
Okay, absolutely not. Okay. What? Okay, tell us something which the world, even your teachers, do not know about. Something, like three things about Arya, which would probably be, breaking news today for your friends. But anyways, that was on a lighter note. But things what the world doesn't know about, because what happens in the post graduation, you're studying, you're preparing, you're doing all these things. But what are your general interests? Singing, dance, or anything else which you indulge yourself in?
First thing is I've learned to play the veena. Not many people know that. Uh,
Okay. Oh, nice.
yes, I've gone to classes and learned, but then I stopped way back. So I generally don't speak about it. It's what I consider a failure until I know I go back and get back into it, which I hope to eventually.
Hmm.
That's one thing I do. Then another thing is I actually enjoy just sleeping. People who know me know that it's like I'm awake whenever, and they're like, "Why are you not sleeping?" So it's different that I'm not able to sleep, but then I thoroughly enjoy sleeping. It's like, what do you want to do? I'll just be like, I want to sleep. I I I I used to be. There was a point when I was in pre-university, and my college, and I was so lucky actually. So for our section, college used to end by 1 every day. Just one day it would go until 2:30. It would start by 9 in the morning. And every day, so I would come back home in solid sleep for 3 hours, 4 hours. And when my grandfather would come back and he would be like, "Where is Arya?" My grandmother would tell, "She's sleeping." So he would come and wake me up and say, "You're such a sukha purushi." He's like, "You have absolutely no stress, nothing. You sleep every day." And I'm like, "Yeah, I come early, I sleep." So yeah, I mean, I know it's valued now, but
Yeah.
yeah, even then, given a chance, I'd like just sleep, close my eyes, and try to drift off.
That's also a blessing which many
True.
of them crave for it, just to like fall
Yeah.
asleep right
Yeah.
in the middle of anything as well.
Yeah.
But then you
That's
got
the
to be
thing.
really
I don't fall asleep. I mean, I just like doing it. I don't know.
you
I've
just
come to
like
a
doing
point where I'm not able to do it.
it. Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, great then. So I think uh, before we get into the details, and we've discovered so much about the person Arya that she is. Like I said, the whole idea of this exercise is to discover the person and what it takes.
Yes.
Yes, Arya. So would you like to share some tips, strategies for our students here in conventional
Yes.
postgraduate fashion? Okay, we have
Yes.
Dr. Kushi ma'am here. So there's a teacher, okay, who's attending your session. Okay. And then
Yes.
I'm maybe one of your seniors also waiting, to ask the questions which
Yes.
you want to think. So let's zoom in
Yeah.
this and let's try to simulate your postgraduate PG room experience. Okay.
Yes. I shall.
Okay. I know it sounds a little cliche, but then I asked Arya to make a PPT of above everything on how to get a gold medal, and I hope she won't disappoint me today. I hope you showed this to your moderator and took the approval before you can present it for all of us here.
Yep. I think I did.
Okay, you can share your screen now. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is on how to be a gold medalist, depending on what sort of gold medalist you want to be. Anyway, so these are things, a few tips that have worked for me, which I'm sure, if tweaked around a little bit, it's going to be of use to um, whoever's watching. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the first thing that I would want to say is PhD rocks. For everybody who says anything else, you guys just don't know. And I feel as postgraduate students of this specialty, we really need to be proud of it. Many of us end up here um, not willingly, not wantingly, but I still feel we ought to be proud of the subject. And I think that's where it starts. When each and every individual here is proud, probably people will stop, trying to attack our subject. I feel it's amazing because see, prevention is easy, and that I think we learned in the entire pandemic last year. Without anything, just maintaining distance, washing your hands, maintaining personal hygiene goes a long way, and our specialty focuses on that. Yes, having curative services is important, but when you can work towards preventing it, why not? And it takes such simple measures. They're cost effective, they take less time, and it's easy. Anyone who says it's easy, and it goes a long way. It's versatile. Anyone studying, all of us studying here will know that it's just not, JC seminar, your dissertation, short studies, and everything. There's a whole lot of things you can do. You can get into biostatistics, you can get into research writing, proposal writing, insurance. There are so many aspects. It's versatile, and we have a lot of career diversity. I know this because I've been applying for jobs, and I have applied in so many different so many different fields, different aspects of the subject. It also has a wider impact because you're not dealing with an individual here. You're dealing with an entire population considered as one entity. And if you're actually able to make a difference, just imagine how many people how many lives it could, improve. And of course, you get to socialize. And I'm adding this here because I'm not a social person, and I think I've changed a lot in the last 3 years. Speak to people at camps, making small talk with people who are waiting. They'll start talking and be like, "Can you just open your mouth? I shall finish this, and then we'll get back to the conversation." But no, so yeah, it gives you a chance to speak to people from different backgrounds, coming from different places, and I think we need that because we're so engrossed in ourselves. This actually um, helps us to be better people. Yeah, prevention is always better than cure. Okay, coming to theory tips and tricks, I would like to stress that this worked for me, and I really hope it works for everyone else. So what I realized during the last 3 years of post graduation is every topic that we read. I'm speaking about curriculum strictly here. Every topic we read can be dealt with in the following manner. You We can start off with what are we reading today? That is focus on the theoretical aspect of the subject. For example, if you're studying dental auxiliaries today, so you just go to what are dental auxiliaries? What is the classification? What does each one do? And stop. That is the theory behind it. The next is why are we reading it? So why do we need dental auxiliaries? Why have we why are there dental auxiliaries basically? How are they going to impact the whole idea of dental care and everything? Then we move to where are the waves being created? What is the global scene when it comes to dental auxiliaries? Different auxiliaries, different countries. I also tried matching up with, taking a few developed countries, taking a few developing countries, thanks to my professors again. And we see what is its situation in the world and how is it in our country. Just how is it in our country, not why, what is it? Then what I did was I tried to figure out the gaps. Is it working in other countries? Oh, how is it working? How have they implemented? Is it not working? Why is it not working? And what can we do about it? So how can we bring about this? Could include recommendations or anything. gaps and what the government can do or where the future is basically. I feel any topic can be divided into these. And I think once we do this, we cover the entire chapter, entire topic. And of course, all of this is with proof. So everything I read, I tried to look for articles specifically with regard to whatever I was reading and try to note down 4 or 5 authors' names so that I would at least remember 2 or 3 when I'm writing it down. Yes, and this is what I did at every aspect. Go back to Google Scholar, go back to PubMed, just type whatever I was trying to read at that point of time, and see what people have to say. Yeah, the next thing is for presentations. So yeah, of course, 4-1 is always 4-1. So this is something again that worked really well for me. What I would try to do is once my seminar was done and ready, I would try to get the meaning of every single word, including basic English language words as well. Because I feel understanding what they're trying to say would actually go in a long way in understanding whatever you're trying to put across. So when questions are asked, you are in a better position to answer because you are aware of whatever you're talking about. And the second thing is, yes, be your interrogator for every slide. So I would pause at every slide and see what are the possible questions that can come my way. So the answer to that would again be to find out what everything, means. So questions coming in any direction, at least you'd be prepared for it. Yeah, there have been times when related questions have come and I'm like, okay, no, I don't know. But then I always try to look at it when I went to my next presentation, trying to, pull in wherever I went wrong or whatever I lacked in the previous presentation, moved along with that. Yes, and then coming to practical exercises, yeah, this is something where I feel we need to work, and practice is what makes a person perfect. Your teeth are not going to brush themselves, right? We have to do it. So you have to put in effort. And yes, so practicing is what I think helped. We have 15 journal clubs that we did, and quite a few problem solving exercises that I did in the end. So while I was doing these, I try to always think different. Everything is pretty subjective when it comes to the topic that you're looking at or the problem that you're looking at. What is the information that is given? So you cannot have a set idea and or a plan and just use it for everything. So thinking different, think what else, how could I add anything, would actually make a lot of difference, did actually make a lot of difference for me. And questioning everything, yes, I learned a lot by elimination. So if you say yes for generalizability, don't focus on the points that say yes. Also focus on what would be the points for you to say no. So I feel trying to balance that would give you a better idea and understanding and in being able to solve it. And a bonus here is that I chose to, and my department supported, was I try to include different study designs in all of my GCs. So some were tough, some went over my head. But I feel the more we do it, because we don't get to do you don't get to do studies involving every single study design in the postgraduate curriculum. So this is the best way to understand. And there are so many aspects that come into play when you are trying to critically analyze a cross-sectional study versus an economic evaluation. So taking up different study designs in JCs actually helped me understand better and gave me a better picture in how to critically evaluate any scientific article for that matter. Yeah, motivation. Public health, dentistry is a dry subject. I agree as well, but that does not mean it's not interesting. And of course, the definition of the word dry in this context is pretty subjective. So, but one thing I would like to say, it's really important to stay motivated. And there are times when um, not all of us have a source of external motivation, and we often have to turn to ourselves in order to be motivated. And this is not with regard to just public health, but in general. Public health specific again, because many people who get into this are not I don't get into it for just for the sheer joy of the subject. So, first thing I would like to stress upon is find your own. And I'm saying more than one Zen options, things that give you peace of mind, things that help you calm down. It could be people in your life, it could be a certain thing, a hobby, an activity that you do, anything. Try to keep more than one, because there are times when if you have your best friend and you're talking to them, there are times when they're not going to be available. And or there may be times when they themselves are in a slump and then you have nobody to actually push you and get up and go. So more than one Zen options is needed. That's the first thing, and I think that helps everyone go a long way. Second one is surround yourself with positive reinforcement. It could be quotes, it could be your own family coming and saying, "Yay, well done, yay," getting your junior seniors in the department, or it could just be something as simple as writing down points and sticking it around you. Subject related points. So as in when you walk around and walk back, or you're going to look at it and say, "Oh, I have to read this," and the fact that you're constantly seeing it, could actually let it sit in your head somewhere. Convert negative thoughts into positive criticism. This is something I taught myself to do, because there were times when I felt, what am I doing here? Or is this really what I wanted? Why am I here? Or why did I even take this up? And there are times when a lot of people say a lot of things to you. You may get yelled at for some reason, for some issue that's not even your fault, or you may get yelled at for a mistake. I feel the best way to deal with all of this is, yeah, anyone's going to feel bad, but convert it to some sort of positive criticism. Okay, you're getting yelled at, or you've made a mistake because you don't know, which is why you're actually here trying to study. So changing it, and it's okay not to know. And now that it's you've been pulled up for it, so learn it. So trying to change thoughts from negative ones into things that would push you and motivate you, I think would go a long way. It did take me some time to learn this. There were days together when I was just like, I don't feel like doing anything in life, and can I just go somewhere and disappear out of sight? But then that's an option. And this actually helped me get back into the groove of why I wanted to do public health, and it just kept reminding me and said, no, let's do it. Yes, and we shouldn't lose focus. Always remember why you started it. And there are so many things that you pick up on the way. Even if it means that you have chosen public health because well, you wanted a master's degree and this is what you got. Well, there's some reason you chose it, right? You could have chosen any other subject. There's a reason you chose it. So always focus, never lose focus on why you chose that. And there are so many things that you pick up on the way that may actually get you to like it. So that is pretty important. And that's something that happens as you go along. There are so many things that come into the mind that becomes very difficult to focus. Be kind and willing to help. Everybody goes through their own set of problems, things that we may not know. So we're not going to lose anything in being nice to people around you and willing to help. This is something that I was at the receiving end of, for which I'm really lucky. I had amazing seniors who listened to any and every doubt I had and who said, no, Arya, this is not what you have to do. This is what you have to do. And I've had really great juniors who patiently listen to me when I say, please go read this, or don't do this, or do that. They say, okay, are you done? No, continue. And so they listen to me when I go on. And it's really nice when you have people who are willing to help you. And when you are willing to help people, there is no harm in sharing knowledge. And just because you teach something to somebody, it's not going to make them greater than you, or it's not going to put you down. A lot of people are very hesitant to help, and I think that should change. And be kind and remember to take breaks. Yes, this I think every 2 months, Saturday afternoon, I would just pack my bags, finish peripheral postings, and get to Yeshwanthpur station. And I would just go off to Shivmoga to chill with my friend there, and then come back Sunday night, do night journey, and go all red-eyed to college on Monday. But each of these actually helped me rejuvenate, recharge, moving around, going to places, trekking, or even just getting out of your comfort zone, or the whole monotony of get up, go to college, study, get back home, would actually help you to get back into it with much more zest and interest and enthusiasm. So remember to take breaks. We all deserve it. And yes, this was me today. These things worked for me, which is why I'm here. I'm sure I've had a lot of pitfalls on the way. I've had my share of troubling times, but I feel it's that push to continue. Find whatever it is that takes you to move ahead. You don't have to be the best in whatever there is. You just be the best version of yourself, and I think things just fall into place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That was fun.
Okay. So you clocked on time. Now is I think that was beautiful, Arya. That was actually beautiful. Everything like a microcosm into what actually takes. And there was so many important points for most of our postgraduates. Watching this, they would definitely take home on these things, on these aspects. Yes, Arya. So if can we see your medal if it's lying somewhere around you?
Can you just give me a minute? I should just be back.
Yes. So yes, Sushi ma'am, I think it's time to hear from the teacher, who has seen Arya grow through all that post graduation journey, and develop as a personality, from all her yearnings and learnings throughout community experiences, and actually bring it. Oh, there you are.
Yes.
Okay, this is your moment.
A lot of glare.
A lot of glare.
But I think, yeah, that's the one.
So okay, so that was like how to get a gold medal 101 talk by Arya. Anyways, that's really yes, Arya. So you want to hear from your teacher, from Sushi ma'am?
Yes.
Love it. Yes, ma'am. Please.
Oh well, I'm very happy. First of all, it's a very proud moment for teachers like me. Everybody at my department as well. It's even more special for me because Arya is also getting Dr. Hiramat sir's, the prize for securing highest marks in public health dentistry, which is given from the Association of Indian Association of Public Health Dentistry. Special for me because sir is my teacher, and that award is going to my student. So it's like a very special moment. She deserves that recognition because she has worked really hard for it. So, and you gave a very good presentation, Arya, and also the conversation between you both were very well, it came out really nicely. Both Denzi taking you through your journey and you also being candid about many things. I'm sure it would help. It must have helped all the students who have a lot of confusions and other things, and at least they'll be able to connect with what you are saying, and because it's relevant for them, because they are going through the same journey like you. So I was also remembering my journey, my schooling, starting from how I grew up, and then why I took a BDS, and then why I took a MDS. It's like, so I was also recollecting all those life events which happened in me and took me to where I am today. So that was a good session today. So, and yeah, Denzi was telling, I mean, we all, most of us share that, that I don't know whether to call it a feeling or whether it's most commonly felt impression about our subject, that it is a dry subject, or there are several aspects which surround the the image about this subject. One is it's dry subject. One, it does not fetch you a good earning job. And then what are you going to do with that subject? Basically, like having no idea what this subject is. All of these things which revolve around the concept of or the image of this subject. First, I would like to say that we are responsible for it. Those who are in the field of public health dentistry, not just in India, across the world, this specialty has that little bit of a lower image. It's a common thing which we find between clinical and non-clinical, whatever the division which we have made. That glamour we will never have. Public health experts across the world, not just public health dentistry. It's there, and basically in our situation, when we talk in our context, definitely we are responsible for creating that image. Not our seniors, when we are juniors, when we are studying BDS, or seniors told us that this subject is dry. Don't blame them. Don't blame anybody who tells you this subject is not good. Why are they saying it? Who has created that image? Who made them feel that way about the subject? Those are the questions we have to ask about ourselves. If we are not candid about ourselves, we don't introspect and see. And, then we may find many answers within ourselves, and then we realize that it is in our hands. The scope is there right in front of us, and we have the control over it to change the image of the subject, so that we can stop blaming others for it. And always, that blaming thing, it doesn't work out for anybody. That is the first thing I just wanted to just get it out of my system. I keep telling this to people whoever I meet. And another aspect was teaching the subject. Yeah, the teaching and all that. A lot of changes are required, and many of our distinguished faculty in our association have been, I think, working hard in order to bring some changes in the curriculum and the subject in the recent IAPHD conference. Dr. Pushpanjali, madam, she gave a very good presentation on that, how to make some curricular changes for the postgraduate subject in public health dentistry. So I think some efforts are being made there. So what I mean to say is that teaching this subject is not like just you just transfer whatever is there in public health into the classroom, because what happens is this subject, as much of theory is there in the subject, it has an equal or more than that is there in the field experiences and what we learn in the field. Unless we learn or apply or learn through the field, whatever we read, the knowledge which we accumulate in our brain, that doesn't complete, nor does it complete the subject, nor does it complete our understanding of the subject. And that is where we lack. And that's also, I think, one of the reasons why we have created that particular image on this subject, because we haven't explored it. Dr. Shankar AARYA sir always used to tell us when we were doing MBS. He was like the person who really made us open our eyes when we were studying the subject, what we need to do in this subject, what we need to learn. It's not there in JC or seminars alone. We have to be out there with the people. And we need to first realize that this subject is for those who have a sense of social responsibility. Otherwise, this is not a subject where you just dream about having luxury life or whatever that concept of luxury life is. We can have, everyone deserves to earn decently, to lead a decent life, not dream about or make that a luxury life as your ambition or motivation in life. So I'm not saying don't, bread and butter is very important to survive. Only when we are surviving, we can think about helping others. So that's the stark reality. I'm very much cognizant of that fact, but we are always motivated to go towards things in life, which what Arya was telling, content in life. She has learned that through her interaction with the people when the subject took her to the field experiences. She has learned that apart from the subject, this subject has a scope of teaching you so many other things other than just oral health and how to prevent or promote oral health. So contentment is, you should have ambitions, It's very important, but satisfaction is more important than happiness. And that satisfaction comes through helping others. Ultimately, it all comes down to that. We will understand that at some point of time, even if not today, maybe after being in life and understanding life, we understand that we feel content and we feel satisfied when we help others. Only then we reach that state of mind which is, peaceful. And this subject is for subject needs this. I would rather put it. I should not say it is for those people. Rather, I should say those people who are in this should develop these perceptions about life, and only then they will be able to understand the sufferings of people who are affected by oral diseases or diseases per se, and what can we do about it when we see people suffering from oral diseases, like even the number of school days lost due to dental caries for children, and how much that and how much the poverty in the household is affecting their seeking oral health services, which they can't afford, not even accessible in some of the areas, and how is that affecting their quality of life. All this should touch our heart and ignite our sense of empathy, and that should stimulate certain questions which can be put up as research hypothesis. You can frame questions and come up with creative ideas, then put that hypothesis into a test through your research studies, come out with something, some outcomes, results which can be usable, which can be implemented, not just getting published in good PubMed journals, getting published in PubMed journals, and having good name in the field of our own scientific fraternity. That doesn't help anybody else. I mean, anybody who are actually our target. Our target population is the people. It should help them, not just us, bringing good name to us. That is what the rationale behind this. I think in teaching we need to imbibe this in our students, and when we do that, they will come up with so many innovative, ideas, and they are so much capable than us, and that should be our aim. Teachers' aim is to bring out the best in the students, and to make sure that and hope for the students to become better than us, and they should be able to guide us in future, what to do, what not to do, and because they are the future leaders in this subject. So this much I would like to say. And also with this, she Arya could do what she could do because one quality I have observed in her as a teacher is her determination. She sticks to what is there in her. I mean, whatever aims she has, she is very determined to achieve it. So to achieve her determination, she perseveres and puts a lot of hard work. And I know she's not a good sleeper. I mean, she doesn't sleep well at all. I know her. I would not share those sleepless days of her now, but I know how badly she sleeps. And she has certain qualities which makes her stick to that, and determination, I think, is one thing, because not just determination in studying the subject. When so many people told her not to take this subject and think twice before taking this subject, but still because she was determined about her goals and what she wants in life, she could overcome the pressures and the social conformation which we all go through. So that is one good quality of a student, apart from the hard work and the discipline and the sincerity and the commitment which every student has to show. That is one thing. And lastly, what I would say to all the students out there is, we may have talks from students who get gold medals and get recognition in the form of some awards, but that does not mean that all other students are in any way lesser than these students who have got medals and awards, because we teachers don't see only through that lens of getting awards. We'll be looking at students as an overall individual, and how much they'll be able to contribute to the subject and through the subject to the society, that is more important, and that is where anybody can make a difference. So all other students who are there studying any subject for that matter, not just our subject, uh, you are loved by all your teachers. So all students are loved by their teachers. We just appreciate, the society appreciates through this system of ranking and other things. They're there, but they are not the end of it. The responsibility becomes more on people who secure these medals now, because they need to show how it is actually useful to the people in the society, right? So, and it is equally so the responsibility of all those people who are involved in it, like people like us. So all of you are loved. We teachers love our students, and Arya is here only to motivate you to become such students, because I know Arya. That's why I feel so proud of her, because she's not just somebody who, studies very well, and, she's very intelligent and works hard and secures ranks and gold medals. But along with that, she has um, all the other qualities which I described before. She's a good human being, and a good human being with a sense of social responsibility is a long way to go, especially for our subject, public health industry. So she is here to motivate you, and also to give you a direction towards what you can do and what can you do more than what she has done, right?
Yes.
And that should be the goal of everybody. Like, we should be always wanting to see people around us to do better than us, better than us, better than. So we don't have any cap for anything. So, and Denzi, once again, it's always a pleasure to come to your platform. And also, Denzi is also one such person who is very enterprising and very, he helps people. That's his intention behind all of this. I can understand that. And we need people like him, especially in our subject, because we spoke about the image of our subject and all those things. And he is doing a lot of work to recreate and to help students as well as other faculty in our dentistry to recreate the image of our subject. So we need to do more of this in its true purpose. The public health dentistry needs to see more of the work done in the field, actually, in the form of influencing policies, policy making, and implementing these policies, maybe in our own little way through institutions, as well as through advocacy, writing, and lobbying, which our elders have been trying to do it. We should also go in the same path, but with more vigor, maybe, and with more creativity and innovation, not sticking to the same mainstream path need not be always be the direction. And Denzi is, I think, going in that direction, and I hopefully see him do this more and more in even more creative ways to achieve some innovation and some critical thinking and creative thinking in public health dentistry as well. How do we apply these thinking qualities to create more ideas which can be implemented in the studies related to oral health, oral disease, and also in implementing programs for people? How can we be more creative? I think we can focus on that as well. So thank you so much for calling me to this session, Denzi. Congratulations to you, and thanks to you also. And Arya, once again, congratulations. It's a very proud moment. Take care and do well.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for those kind words. Those actually heartfelt words coming out for Arya from her teacher, who's seen her, who's actually been through the process of transformation, and it's really so blissful to see your student go, reach such places and become the best version of you, or even better, and for the greater good of the society. So thank you so much, Sushi ma'am, for those wonderful things, and also thank you for expressing your suggestions and everything. And definitely we would be trying to make it more creative and make things more innovative. And I firmly believe in a world where you could be anyone all that you need to do is to be a best version of yourself, because you are unique. Each one of you attending this, each one of you seeing this, I think all of you are distinct and unique and have been created, and that's what God did create us in the first place. So I think what we become is our gift to our existence, and you're able to make a difference to people around you. That social commitment and consciousness is there in each of us. We just have to trigger it and cater to it and respond to it. After all, this is what makes us human up, in the end of it, beyond all of these things, services, and we have such a beautiful speciality to reflect upon, which teaches us so many different aspects. I think every dental student would have noticed something interesting, which would pertain or relate to him or her throughout the process. So we want people like Arya, who have found their calling much early, and work towards it in a very dedicated and determined fashion, and to bring this to such a beautiful I would say on the verge of getting into the real world, and making the most of her knowledge and experience. So thank you, Sushi ma'am, for those beautiful lines here. So yes, Arya. So I quickly ready to take some questions from our audience here.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So can we have? Okay. Just before we end this, Arya, do we have any of your family members here who would like to?
Yes.
Think?
My family is on call. Yes, my sisters and my
Yeah. Oh, is your sister here?
yeah, both of them are here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Ananda.
So that's my younger sister. She's currently pursuing her master's in finance and investments in Bristol. That's the
Hi,
rest of
Ananda.
my family.
Okay.
My parents and my elder sister.
Okay.
And that's my uncle who has joined the call as well. Yeah.
Oh, hello, sir. Okay, hello to everyone from Arya's family here. So I think the reason behind what she has achieved and what she has accumulated over the years of learning and wisdom, the ones here are your constant pillar of source support and encouragement is your family.
Yes.
So we'd like to hear from Arya's parents here. Yes.
Yes, my parents are here as well.
Uncle, auntie, please. Okay.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, auntie.
So, she's, I think she's been motivated in this line, I think, in a fair way because of my father, who was a very social and a very conscious person. And I think the second thing is Sushi ma'am. So I must really say thank you, because at that point, I think she gave direction to Arya.
Yep.
Whatever she was thinking of, I do not know, because BDS, she wanted to complete, but at this point, she came back and she said, yes, public health dentistry is what I would like to go into. And I think, ma'am, I have to say thank you to you, because
please, it is her.
no, see, everybody needs the motivation, and I think you led her in that direction. So I'm very happy, and this is the culmination of all your efforts, of course, and her effort also. So I'm really very thankful to all of you, and of course to God and everybody who has supported her, and for her own efforts also.
Yeah, I mean, you know what they say, right? Like behind every successful person is not just their hard-earned efforts and things like that, but also a very good mentor. So, matters.
So the thing, Denzi sir, is my parents and my family have always been extremely supportive. So my parents just told me one thing. They said, you do whatever you want. We do not come from a dentistry/medical background. I can only read and understand and tell you, but ultimately it's your decision. And if this is what you want to do and this is what you're focused upon, I'm going to support you completely. So I'm really grateful for my entire family, for an amazing set of friends that I have. There have been times when I've texted saying, listen, I'm feeling extremely low, and maximum in the next one day somebody would turn up at the door or call or talk, or we'd find something, something to help me loosen up, or get me back in, or they would just come back and remind me. Right.
Well, basically, I think what everybody needs to know is that, as pretty as it seems on the outside, like she dealt with her fair share of struggles. It's not like at every given point of time she was 100% motivated and she's like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to ace this. She had her moments of self-doubt like every other person ever would, but I think what made her stand out from everybody else is that through her self-doubt she's like, yeah, I know this may not be exactly what I want it to be, but I'm still willing to pursue it to make it reach what I want it to be. And I think that is something all three of us, to be honest, have to thank our parents for, because um, all of us have always been doing things in the most unconventional manner. Because my entire family has a science background, and when I was in eighth, I was like, I cannot study physics. I'm getting into finance, and my parents are like, okay. And I'm not joking, because when I walked into my pre-university class with like a 90%, my teacher's like, why didn't you take up science? And I think what I experienced with commerce, she experienced with public health dentistry. Because everybody is like, it is not as lucrative as a mainstream dental course. So are you sure this is what you want to be doing? And she's like, yes. And I think that is what drove her and like pushed her to basically do what she's done in this course. And I mean, I have to say, I'm so proud of her. And Sushi ma'am, I mean, there have been days when she could not stop talking about you. So I think a lot of the credit does go to you.
No. Please don't take my name so many times. I feel really embarrassed. I think the entire department is there to support her. She and
Very
you know
true.
when we study how an individual is made, it's all those different factors and different people, situations, and the family which we are born to, and the genes which we carry, and all the social factors. So many things will be responsible for who we are. So we just can't point out to one person or one or two people at all. It's a wrong way of doing. So it's all of you people, all her teachers, and here in our college, our college authority management, our department, and all her patients and her people whom she dealt with, the school children and all her friends and people in the field, and all her thinking and learning and everything has made her who she is now. That's what I
I would like to just say one thing. Yes, I'm sure everybody has played a very good role, a support, and they have pushed her well. But I just wanted to say the first step, you inspired. That's it. And we are happy because she found her direction. So we are very, very happy because of that. I am very grateful to the entire department because they did a lot. So we are really very grateful to all of them.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. On behalf of the department also, I feel happy to listen to all of you.
I just want to share one small incident. I'm sure Arya is going to be a little embarrassed. I mean, when the first day we walked into college to do her admission.
This is for BDS, by the way. This is for BDS.
Yeah, this is for BDS. So my brother-in-law was very busy. He had some meetings, and therefore, being her mama, and so I said, okay, I'll come and sign for you as a guardian. So we came and paid the fees, and believe you me, I'm paying the fees, and suddenly next to me I see somebody falling like a sack of potatoes, and Arya has fainted.
I fainted in the office on first day of
admission. She walked into the college, she fainted. And I came back home, and I remember telling my sister, I said, this little one is, the first day I took her to college, and then there she faints. what is she going to complete her, BDS, and what is she going to do? And I mean, today she's made us so proud that I have no words to say. She's always been. All three of them, of course, are amazing nieces to have. I think extremely proud mama that I've always been. But I think. I have nothing to say. That was just a small incident. From somebody who fainted on day one to today, taking a gold medal, I think she's come a long way, and she deserves every bit of the praise that she's getting.
Yes, she deserves it.
Lovely. And that's so beautiful.
So I have some more dirt
yes,
to add on Arya. I think everybody, the student body in this conversation would enjoy this. So she says she's not artistic, but she's quite a bully. So my sister and I are really artistic. So that because she was so particular that her record should be well graded or whatever, or her diagram should be perfect, she would literally have me and my sister sit up nights just to complete her diagrams and stuff. And we're just like, what are we getting in return? And let me tell you, nothing. She would promise an ice cream or the occasional chocolate, but it never saw fruition. But yeah, she says she's not artistic, but she is so meticulous. It is appalling. Like, she's really meticulous.
And just before we give it back to you, Denji sir, just one thing I want to add, and this is actually a great, I think, compliment to the entire department of public health dentistry, because they say that, right? You educate a woman, you educate a family. Well, if you have a public health dentist in your midst, then you have a family of quacks who go around spreading knowledge to random people saying, what are you doing? Why aren't you brushing your teeth? Don't you know you're going to have caries? Brushing can save you so much of money. And well, there you go.
We recognize crowding. We recognize necessity for like braces, like that.
Yeah. Crowding, dentition. Yeah, we know that. Back to you.
Arya, when she was an intern, or I think maybe she was in final year or internship, she helped me collecting some, the experience of the patients of the oral healthcare services there, because we were trying to put it up across to the National Institute of Human Rights, the National Council of Human Rights, which we wanted to present it there to oral health be recognized as a human right by our constitution. We wanted to make an impression that oral health and oral disease also matters, and we need to recognize it as people's right to have it. Like, just like how health is a human right, and oral health is also. So she actually, during her obedience only, she helped collect some information from the urban settings. We were getting different case studies from rural and urban areas. Dr. Chandrasekhar Janakiraman and Dr. Rajiv, all three of us were working towards it. So even from that time, she had been involved in public health. So
yes.
That's really nice to hear from back in internship, and how you get your diagrams made from your sisters. And of course, the incident of you fainting on the first day of college.
Yes.
I hope you did not faint today when you received the medal there along with the President of India in the house.
No,
my
but
legs were
truth be
feeling
told,
shaky.
she was not happy with the way she smiled on the camera.
you look beautiful.
No, she wouldn't believe me.
All right. So I think thank you so much. I think it was wonderful meeting all of you all, everyone from Arya's parents, uncle, auntie, sisters, what they had to share, and of course her mama who told her, who took her to college on the first day.
Yes.
And then actually get to know this from someone, from friends, from family, from teachers, and everyone here. So yes, Arya, finally, okay. Just some final questions. I think we'd like to also invite questions from the participants here, some of the PGs who are here, I think if you could just take out your chat box so we could see. Okay. Someone, yeah, Dr. Sahar, she's, I think, finally a postgraduate. Yeah. Any quick tips for examination going PGs, Arya, from your side?
So one thing, it's not late. You've still got time. The easiest way, according to me, is to work systematically. So we still have time, and that's what I said. So the only thing that we need to focus on when you're writing, this is from a purely exam point of view, is practical exams is going to happen on its own. I mean, if that's going to happen, fine. But the a focus on theory papers, like I said, is just stick to trying to collect information in a very systematic manner, like how I mentioned. So it's very it's very easy when you start taking off and trying to answer those questions. So then you'll know that you've covered everything, and you'll like find one or two articles to support whatever we're putting across, recent studies and things like that, and it's just easier to move on. And one more thing while preparing for theory, this is again something that worked for me, is please don't read only from one book. There are some really amazing books there, and I can say this because I was told to, which I did, and I ended up reading quite a few textbooks in the first year, like light reading. So my suggestion is, if you're in the habit of making notes, that's amazing, because that's one place where you're going to get everything. If not, whichever chapter is being read, one book can be kept as a base or a skeleton, and you can refer other books and just add stuff, refer articles and just add latest evidence. So you can probably write it in your textbook. So when you're revising, you have everything together, and then you don't try, looking up latest evidence regarding what you didn't have. That's how much I would like to say. And practice writing. That is, we would, by the end of 3 years, would have lost the habit of writing and finishing in time. And that there's nothing more disheartening than that, when you know the answer and you're not able to finish writing. So practice writing, practice. You can pick up old question papers. You can write whatever you want. Time yourself and write. This is it's going to happen. And coming to practicals, I feel once you start reading for theory and you've actually read systematically, Viva becomes much easier. Of course, there's always going to be something that you don't know, something that the examiner is going to ask you and you will not be able to answer. But, well, that's okay. That's okay. As long as you're not sitting there dumb and you acknowledge the fact that, okay, there's something else that you have missed, which is why we're still learning. We haven't really gotten to knowing everything, and there is no knowing everything. So with regard to practical exercises, well, the long case and short case is going to be fine, but critical evaluation and problem solving, that again, like I said, practice. And the more you start practicing, the more you start seeing different scenarios, the more you'd start getting a hang on how you're going to deal with each of it.
Yes. So yeah, there were some quick tips for exam going PGs. Any questions from anybody else, from any of the postgraduates? Any specific questions? Arya will be really happy to address them. We also have a couple of students attending this on our YouTube live stream as well. So you can post your questions there. We can address them here for all of y'all. In case, we have a question from Dr. Sachin, about dissertation. I think, she did mention her whole process of how you can, take this up in detail. And yes, Arya, how important, or how did you go by, your main dissertation, your thesis writing, because many students get really stressed out regarding that. So would you like to quickly share the experience?
That again is not to leave it to the last minute, and it's not all, and everyone does not work very well under pressure. So like I said, working systematically goes a long way. If you're just focusing on the just the curriculum, the specific curriculum of our subject, I think there have been people who have literally done everything between 9 to 4, skip lunch breaks, work during and finish the entire curriculum, like whatever we have to finish and then read, and have done well. So, like I said, again, with dissertation writing, I mean, start writing early. You really don't have to wait until you start doing your dissertation to come to your results. Up till then, you can finish before and keep. And yes, and I always feel introduction, we would have anyway written for synopsis. I feel once we try and focus on the methodology, writing the methodology, eventually everything else would fall into place because methodology is our own, right? Methodology is what you're going to do or what you've already done. So I did this. I finished up till my methodology, review of literature and everything well beforehand, before my data collection was even over, and I got it corrected and just kept it aside and then moved along slowly. So yeah, you have to just figure out which order works for you. But I feel leaving things to the last moment is always going to add to stress. I mean, and not everybody can perform well under pressure.
So the tip for you guys is again, please do plan well, plan ahead, because you choose on your dissertation topics in your synopsis submission the first 6 months of your post graduation. In fact, that really determines. So plan your schedules, because post graduation is all about an arduous journey where you'll have to squeeze out time for all the exercises according to the priorities. So please do maintain a diary, and when you collect data information, especially when you're doing epidemiological studies, and a lot of analysis has to be done, and even towards the end of the exercise in PG, the last crucial year, but that's when you're in final year. So please do plan for everything ahead, and in that regard, yes. All right. If we don't have any questions, I have a small video to be shared of Arya receiving her medal, if it's okay. If she's not already embarrassed so far, I think this is our last bit. So I think,
Sure.
all right.
That's
So while I think I'm requesting everybody to please switch on your video for a little bit so we can have a group photograph here. Okay. This was the video from today morning, yeah, the day that she received the gold medal, and the moment of glory and everything for her. So yes, okay.
Thanks to Kechri for getting it.
I was just thinking. So, guys, presenting to you Dr. Arya Bharadwaj receiving the gold medal. Video courtesy her teacher, Dr. Sushi ma'am, for putting this across for thing. Yes, ma'am.
Kechri.
Okay.
Dr. Kechri, final
Dr.
year
Kechri.
PG.
Okay, Dr. Kechri. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Kechri, for capturing this moment.
Dr. Arya N. Bharadwaj of PS Dental College and Hospital, Bangalore, has secured gold medal for the highest marks in MDS Community Dentistry.
All right. So, Dr. Arya Bharadwaj, congratulations on that fantastic feat, which you made everybody and all of us so proud. So finally, closing comments from you, Arya. Where do you see yourself with all that you have accumulated, and how do you wish, envision for? So this is that little speech you've prepared, for all of us here, when you're just receiving the award. So all over to you. Yes, please.
Yeah. So what's done is done. I mean, I'm done with it. I'm here. I'm moving ahead. So yes, I have certain short-term plans. I feel I'm not biased to any specific, uh, chapter, not chapter, any specific, say, domain in this specialty. I'm willing to go in all. So I don't know. I feel as long as I'm able to get to the place where I really need to make a change and start, uh, be it a change in improving our subject, making people much more aware and actually teaching the subject to somebody, or doing that with the public. I'm okay with both. I just wish to get to a point when I'm actually going to be able to make a change, and I'm going to put my everything in all. I come till here, and that's where that's where I want to go in the future. So yes, I hope to see myself um, giving back a little more in whatever ways possible. So as and when things come my way, I think I'll be able to grow and give back whatever I've got and try to actually make a difference and help people live better and, help them, achieve whatever they deserve. That's good health and well-being. Yeah.
Yes, that was really sweet. Very humble of you, and actually to thinking of giving back to the society, because in the end, um, all of us are our stories, and we need to make a good story out of our journey of life. And whatever little knowledge and information and skills that we develop over a course of learning in our specialty, we need to actually do more and live more. And I'm very sure that you would make us really proud, and everyone, all your family and friends, all of us who've gathered here today, all of the energies would channelize for you to achieve more. And here's wishing you a fantastic life ahead, Arya. I think we wanted to be the most brightest star in the sky, and with your blessings of parents and your relatives and your friends and family and teachers and everyone. So we wish you all the very best from onwards. Make the most of it, and like we say in PhD 101 Rendezvous series, reach for the stars, because you deserve to be up there and actually make a difference and shine upon the lives of many more people, as many as you can impact, and actually bring about a change in the world. So thank you all so much for joining in. I think this was beautiful, and the first episode of the Rendezvous series. I'm really happy for everyone for making this happen. A special note on I need to thank my wife, because she really came up with this idea of understanding the person behind, and she wanted me to take up this the Student Speak series. And I think we all have our reasons, and we said, okay, fine, let's try to do things differently. If not, we can change the world, but at least let's get started, let's get talking. So I really like to thank my wife and everyone behind conceiving this idea. And today happens to be the first experiment. In fact, I told this to Arya that if you ask me how we do this, I frankly don't know. And let's just let it go naturally. And it was wonderful, surprises. Sushi ma'am was here, and she's been through the session. Akash obliged to do the performance for us, and all your family is here. I don't know what impact we've made, but I hope we start a flutter of a butterfly somewhere in one part of the world, which reaches out to things. As long as we infect each other with positive energy, especially in this world where the whole world is taken apart by the COVID pandemic. So thank you so much. Thank you all so much. Yes, Sushi ma'am, any closing remarks for the session?
Oh, thanks to Arya's family who's been here. Was very happy to see them all. And also all the students and everybody, all of us, we can make whatever little is possible. Yeah, it's not that we will change everything magically or something. As Denzi has put it very nicely, whatever way, even in a small way, if it impacts even a single person, that's enough. So congratulations, Arya, and all the best. Do well and take care as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. And by the way, Arya, you do owe us all a very big treat. Okay. And that's not going to happen online. That's going to happen offline. Okay.
Sure.
You're not
Yes,
getting
sir.
away with the medal and not reading all of us. Okay. So we will find you, and we will, shamelessly
Yes.
get across for that. Anyways,
No,
just
sir.
joking.
Of course.
No issues.
We
We'll,
would be
we'll
all
sponsor
there.
it for her.
No, we will do it. Anyway, Dancy, sir, one last thing I'd like to add. Yes, I took this subject out of choice, and yes, I really wanted this. But to everybody out there, the subject is really nice, and just because I liked it and I, went ahead with it, does not mean that it was any less difficult for me. I've had my fair shares of tough times, and times when I haven't understood, times when I had to do things that I didn't want to, and times when I wanted to do something but I was not allowed to. But through all of this, I think everybody has their own set of struggles, and we've managed. So I feel uh, rather than saying no, you like the subject and you did it, I think each and everybody can work around it, and you can do it in your own way. And I think everyone's way is going to be different. I just want to add one more thing, that I'm extremely grateful to the entire Department of Public Health Dentistry at PS, especially my guide, Dr. Vijayalakshmi ma'am. There have been days when I've just gone and said, ma'am, I don't feel like doing any work today. Like, I don't want to do anything. And she's like, it's okay. You do tomorrow and you submit. No problem. She's been extremely nice. Supportive. The entire department has been encouraging, and they've always pushed me to do better. And I'm extremely grateful. I am here because of the entire department, and I'm forever going to be grateful to them. All of them. HOD ma'am, Dr. Pallavi, Dr. Radha, Nagashri ma'am, Vijayalakshmi ma'am, and Suchi ma'am. And the PGs, of course.
All right, so I think that's a wrap for today's session. Again, heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made this possible for Arya to achieve what she has, and the very little that she has, according to her, right? And which is going to catapult her to, again, awesome journeys ahead. Like I said, we need people like you in our specialty area, because you need to make a change, even if it's the tiniest bit. Yes, it will be established, and it will make an impact to people around you and your family, and the entire ecosystem that we live in, inherit in. And in times like this, where we're having more confused students, this was just an attempt to put forward each one's life journey in whatever best way we could do that. Thank you so much, Arya, and the fantastic family behind Arya. I think all the pillars of support here, uncle and auntie, and all the sisters and everybody for their for sharing their bit of memories from growing up and being this constant support for all of them. So thank you so much, Arya, for doing this.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, all the participants. You can always go back and let us know if you have any queries, any of the postgraduates. If you need any assistance, do reach out to us. We are available. You can check our website. You can always reach on to us in our student learning groups as well. So we'll be happy to help you for any exam preparation, any material resources and everything. And Arya is again a part of this, so she'll be more than happy to sail you through
Yes.
the journey.
Any help that I can be of, please do let me know, and I will try my best to help you out.
Yeah, you can ask her anything except the medal, right? So that you'll have to earn for it. So
Yeah, I guess. Yes, but seriously speaking, anything that anyone needs and anywhere I can be of any help, please reach out to me, and I'll try to help you out.
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, and we see you all very soon. This evening was really very beautiful, because we had personal stories and journeys being expressed here. So today we started with Dr. Arya. We'll be coming back soon. We also have certain undergraduates, will be sharing the stories in the subsequent sessions. And this is just to give a different perspective to the whole learning and the teaching process, ability to connect. And like I said, we're digitizing the platform, but we are humanizing the experiences. That's the whole intention behind doing this. Thank you so much. Please do show us your love by participating in these sessions. And thank you so much, Arya. See you around very soon. God bless you again.
Yes. Thank you.
I think that would put an end to all this, and keep shining. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.